right, here we are. Saturday. We're at Rob's place. We're going to play some Vietnam. Yes, I know we've got the mullah going for the mosque on Rob's excellent mosque alarm clock. Still don't know how he flew that back in. So since Team Yankee is basically, you know, a what if of World War III, and now that the Nam book is around the bend, why not do a what if situation as well, about, you know, a war that could have easily happened during the oil crisis in the 1970s. To that end, I have been slaving away, painting and rebasing 40 of these palm trees and jungle trees, and to be honest, every single one of them is on the table, and when they're not clumped up, it looks like I didn't even do any. I'm going to be running, as the North Vietnamese lists, I'm going to be running the just generic bad guy Russians. They could be, you know, Iraqis or whomever. And Rob is going to be running his Canadians as Australians, because Canada used to rock Centurions, and we're going to be fighting over this industrial area over here with some oil pumps. There's a ruin over yonder, and then there's a statue of a dictator that may or may not have a big bushy mustache and a great coat that may or may not be Saddam Hussein. So we're fighting over this excellent table here. Just going to quickly have Rob go through his list, and I'll go through mine, and then we'll get going.
So I start off with a Australian Centurion company. So I've got a commander with a deputy here, 2 4-tank troops of Centurions painted up as Canadians. These ones will have the 20-pounder gun, unfortunately.
Wait, they do or they do not?
These will have the 20-pounder gun in this game.
Okay. Sorry, is that good or bad for my T-55? It's probably bad.
Well, I think the 105 is better.
Oh, okay.
They borrowed some M108s from the Americans, so I'm going to have them as M1. I only have M109s right now.
Yeah.
For the fire support vehicles, this is the M113 with a Saladin turret. I'm just going to use my 4 tow vehicles.
Yep.
I'm going to use New Zealand infantry, because they're a couple of points cheaper, and they're just 7 basic stands each, and a company commander. But
so they're lower stats?
A little bit lower stats, unfortunately.
So they're Van Dues, is what you're saying?
You said that.
I said that.
And they didn't have enough regular stands, so all these guys are pretending to be regular infantry stands.
And that's
100 points.
And that's 100 points. Wow. As for me, this huge scad of infantry here is 2 sets of infantry. I've got them. If you look at the bases, there's yellow bases and there's red bases. So the red bases with the AT-4 missiles are the PAVN in the list. They're the PAVN mechanized infantry. So there's a ton of guys with AKs. 9. It says B-41. That's the Vietnamese designation for the RPG-7s and some LMGs. They're supposed to be in BTR-50 PKs. I used to have some, but I ended up selling them. So instead, they will be in BNP-1s until such time as I can get my hands on some BTR-60s, which in the desert are like a must. My other unit of infantry, the yellow guys, their anti-tank weapons are AT-3 Sager teams. So this is in support. Sorry, the mechanized infantry, T-55 commander, 2 platoons of T-55s, so 4 and 5, and the ZSUs, and the mechanized infantry. That's all one formation. Okay, and then I've got in support, I've got this big giant unit of regular infantry. Now these guys have guerrilla fighters, which means when they come in reserves, I roll a dice to see which table quarter they come in on, or if I roll a 5 or 6, I pick the table quarter rather than come in on my board edge. And they have the rule, born in the north, die in the south. So in this case, these are just basically, you know, local forces fighting in the desert, Bedouins maybe, I don't know. I will have to get some models with turbines and turbines and RPGs and all that, maybe some technicals. But what happens is when this unit gets killed off, if I pass a morale check, they go back into reserve, so they can potentially keep on coming. So that is my 100 points. We're going to do, I believe we're doing dust up on here. We haven't rolled for sides or anything like that, but should be real fun. Alright, so we are deployed. I've got my BTR infantry. I'm in this table quarter here. These guys are ready to dash and then move up into the buildings, although then he deployed all of these guys. So these guys on the roofs here have M72s, you said?
Yes.
And then these guys have Scorpion turrets?
Saladin.
Saladin turrets.
Same thing.
Same thing. And then you've got more infantry. I guess meeting engagements, they're not really dug in with the crashed helo. You've got Centurions on the reverse slope of that hill there. And you got your 109s way back there. I placed these guys first, and now I'm kind of regretting it, because then I'm like, well, not that much. So I've got my T-55s and then my battalion CO over here with the ZSUs. My plan is to advance, and you can see the flank of the Centurions down this, behind this ridge here. So it's going to be dicey because his reserves are going to come on in here as well. So we'll have a little tank fight over here by the dictator statue and the mosque. So Rob rolled to go first, so he will be going first, and we'll catch you after the end of turn 1. So Rob won the right to go first, turn 1. His Centurions have range 48, so they were able to shoot at my BTRs. No, failed to bail one out, because turns out their firepower is 3+, and you rolled a 2 for the firepower test.
Which means he's bailed out.
Oh, which does mean it's bailed out. Yeah, you're right. I'm an idiot.
It's more of a cheat.
It's not destroyed.
Yeah.
Anyways, as I try to find a marker. These guys over here tried to shoot at the lead BTR, missed. These M108s I thought were bombard, but it turns out they were used as fire support. That's why they're only 4 points. So they're direct fire tanks. So I didn't have to worry about those, and apparently they're so expensive if you're taking them as actual bombardments. They're like crazy points. So, which kind of makes sense, because I mean, my infantry are really susceptible to it, so I really didn't take too much damage on turn 1. We'll see what if I can inflict any on my turn. My turn 1, with the background of a Gulf War documentary. All I did was basically dash my stuff up so that next turn I can start plinking into the side of these Centurions. These ZSUs are ZSU 57s, so they have 89. So that's enough to get through the sides. And over here, I just dashed my BTRs up, and my plan is to dismount next turn and start walking in. So on to turn 2. On Rob's turn 2, wow, it turns out these FSVs have an amazing gun. Arguably better than the Centurion gun. Firepower 2+, and AT-14. So he blitzed these guys up, killed 2, bailed 1. This time these guys all survived. His Centurions took 8 shots, killed the 2 that he could reach, bailed 1, and only 1 RPG guy made it. And he moved up his M108 support vehicles. So these things have front armor 3, and these things have front armor 1. So I'm guessing that's because the real versions of these have the big armored turrets, but it just makes it kind of weird. So anyways, that's his top of turn 2, so it's my turn 2 now. So on my turn 2, I disembarked everybody, and with AT-14 slow-firing RPGs, only hit once and bailed out. However, that was way more than made up for by So the T-55s have an AT-16 gun. It's one shot whether you move or not. However, when you move, it is slow firing. So I was shooting at the unobstructed side of his Centurions. I needed 6s to hit, and I got 3 6s. Killed 2, bailed 1. So because it is not the Team Yankee rules, it's NOM, which is a lot like version 4 mid-war. He's going to get to remount this on a, what is it, 3+? 2+ maybe? He's going to get to remount it first. Yeah. He's going to get to remount first before he tests for the last stand test here. And yes, we still have the Gulf War thing going on in the background. But yeah, yeah, my infantry over here couldn't do anything against these lousy M113 FSVs. It's crazy. So on Rob's turn 3, he did not get reserves. He did remount these guys. He moved and shot. I made my armor saves done that way. No, he bailed 1 out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bailed 1 out. Over here, he blitzed these FSVs, which are proving to be amazing. Killed like 5 or 6 guys with beehive rounds, which is 5 shots each. He even moved an M108 up in here and took a pot shot and killed an LMG. So they're only not pinned because I have a large unit still, barely hanging on. But now it's my turn 3, so hopefully I can finish off these Centurions, although now it's going to be in front armor. And hopefully I can get some reserves. So we'll see if I get any of those on my turn 3. My turn 3, I didn't get reserves. I moved up my BTRs so that their AT-4 guns could shoot at the beehive shooting M108. I missed. My RPGs, however, did blast 2 of these guys out of existence. I moved my ZSUs up. They have a range of 24 and 18-9. They're just out of range of these guys over here. And last but not least, my T-55 didn't get back in, and I missed these guys completely. So that is the end of my turn 3. Go ahead, Rob, for your turn 4. So more beehives killed way more dudes. I'm pinned now. I've only got a couple guys left, but luckily I was able to move some of the mistaken target hits off of the RPGs this time, so I still have 5 RPG teams, but there's still 2 of these jerks left. Over here, his Centurions were able to bail out 2 more, which actually, no, they still have 2 in the platoon over there, so I don't have to take the test just yet, but hopefully they get back in. And it's my turn 4, so I get 2 reserves this time, right? Yeah, 2 reserves. So we'll see what I can do. I hope I get reserves. I'm debating whether to get the Guerillas that might come in various board edges, but I might just take my reserves come in here, so my T-55s might just have to drive up and blast these guys out of existence, because these guys are a thorn in my side right now. So my infantry with their RPG-7s did not unpin, so they needed 5s to hit. I only bailed both out, so they may have, again, it's not Team Yankee rules, it's the NOM rules, so it is like version 4. So he's going to get to remount first and then take his motivation at the start of the step. I moved my BTRs with their machine guns. I was able to bail out one of the M108s from over here. I moved my ZSUs out, ZSU 57s, so I've range 24, 2 shots on the move, AT-9. Killed 1. I was moving up my T-55s. I know it's +1 to hit on the move, but I was able to get some within range, so it was still going to be the same business. And also, he's going to get some reserves for sure next round. So yeah, now I'm in a world of hurt. I couldn't hit anything. So he's got some tests to make, and hopefully he loses 2 platoons. That would be fantastic for the For the Communist Front.
That's not very sporting.
Wow. To be fair, I blew all my good luck by killing those 2 Centurions at the very beginning, and now I'm going to get nothing. Sorry, what was that?
Did you say have gotten any worse?
Yes, so why don't you go through the steps of what happened. So your reserves came in, you tried to blitz them.
And failed.
And failed, so they moved up behind my platoon of T-54s.
With some cover.
Yeah, and good thing, because you rolled...
Missed them all. I missed but 2.
Yeah, so you... and then these guys only hit once.
Once, and it bounced.
Well, you did kill one. The one that's
yeah.
Lost the turret over there.
One.
So, yeah.
8 shots to kill 1 tank.
Oh, but on the good news, the M108 got back in. The bad news, both of these failed to get back in, but did pass their last stand. So now it's going to be...
And now they're backed up by these M108s.
So that I can't just assault and take them over. Because that's what I would have done. If I had done pinned, I would have just assaulted these and captured them. But now I'll face grape shot or whatever it's called. So yeah, so now I'm going to have to kill them the old-fashioned way, and that's by shooting them. So now it's my turn, whatever the turn is. I'm sure it'll be in the title. Unfortunately for the Centurions, because they didn't do anything to my T-55s really, my ZSUs, again AT-9 into the side, backed up from this roadway here, shot into the flank and killed one, bailed one. My T-55s backed up, so then they needed 5s to hit. A couple guys got back in, didn't need 5s to hit. Basically killed the entire platoon. Over here, my RPGs killed one. My T-55s, I was going to leave the Beehive guy alone, trying to kill off this platoon of M108s. But because of slow firing and firing through these wrecks on this road here, I needed 6s to hit, so nothing. So there's a couple things that might happen here, and that is, I'm just going to show you guys something real quick. Is there something called the political victory? So if at any time I'm leading by more than 6 points, I might win. So I didn't kill any bunkers, didn't kill any helicopters. Other tank teams, so that's like the M113s and the M108. So I've killed I've killed 3 of those. So that's 1 point there. Centurions, now I've killed 6 of them, and a unit. So I'm at 6, 7, 8 victory points. And the only thing that's keeping me alive is because he has killed some of my tank teams. So if I killed, I think, 1 more tank, I would have had the political victory right away. So you can win the game in a different way if you're ever leading by more than 6 points. However, now his HQ guys are going to come in and probably not attempt the blitz and just kill off my platoon. So we'll see what happens there. But an extra little twist with the political victory score sheets that we've got here. So on Rob's turn, he blitzed successfully this time his HQ Centurions, and they blazed away, killing the 2 tanks they could see. These Centurions over here fired into the survivors. Basically, I've got the battalion guy left and 1 guy from the platoon. So he's testing.
I think he's alive. It was these 2 I killed.
Is he?
Yeah, I couldn't hit him. You pulled that turret off instead of that one.
Oh, okay, maybe you're right. Yeah, okay. So maybe I don't have to take a test there. Over yonder, he got back in with his 1 Beehive guy. Shot, and I made most of my saves. You missed quite a lot of shots as well. And that's pretty much it. So now I get my Guerillas. We'll see where they come in. And I think if I can kill... Well, now he's killed a few of my T-55s. So to get the political victory, I think I'm going to have to kill off the rest of his Centurions, which I don't think I'm going to be able to pull off. Unless my Guerilla fighters come in and RPG it. So we'll see what happens. My Guerillas, I opted to... I rolled a 6 so I could pick which quadrant they can come in on. I had to come in with the RPG-2s, AT-11. 9 shots, hitting on 5s because they're slow firing. I only hit once, but did kill him. I'm not going to assault the survivor because of the defensive fire from all these guys. These guys here are just going to bide their time. Next turn they're going to come out in here and probably start rolling up on here and try and bring in out this Huey. But I think if I kill any couple more tanks and platoons, I might win the political victory. Because over here the plucky BTRs with their HMGs were able to bail out one of these M108s. And the depleted mech infantry finally killed off the last M113 FSV. And my T-55s are coming down this back road here. Plans to basically roll up, kill any surviving vehicles, and then it's just going to be a crazy assault fest into here. So I think I'll have the game wrapped by then, I'm hoping. Yeah, but over here I did move a ton of T-55s. I did pass my test. Had to dash move a couple of guys, took some shots, failed to hit, so now he's going to get some retribution, probably kill off my platoon here. And yeah, he might be able to, yeah, you know what, in a couple turns he might be able to take this objective here because these ZSUs are probably going to get vaporized by the lone Centurion, who's probably going to blitz away from there if he passes his test. So that is the end of my turn. We'll see. Rob has a ton of tests to make. We are watching America's Greatest Tank Battles, which, as a non-American, this may as well be called America's most one-sided, lopsided battle, given the better gear and all this. However, over here, the Centurion HQ section was able to kill one of my T-55s, which puts my platoon to 1 vehicle, so they're testing for the rest of the game. And I might as well test right now to see if they're in or out. They're in. His Centurion did not pass his test, so the Centurion is gone. So I think that's an extra 1-2 political points. So hang on. I think I win the game out right now, Rob, because I've killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So that's 8 political points plus the 2 unit points. So that gives me 10 points right now. Plus now I've killed off this platoon, so that's 11. And each of these 3 sets of 3 tanks is the next one. So I have 12 political points. You've killed... Yeah, but unfortunately for some reason the T-55s, it's 2 to 1, which I disagree with. So for each 2 you get 1 point for the politics. So that's, so you've only killed 4. So that's 2 points for you.
BMPs.
The BMPs is it's a 3 to 1. So you've killed off. So I have 12 points. You have 3. So I think right now, I think that's the game ends right now. Unfortunately, as much as I want to do this, I mean, you move the Beehive guys into the right spot, right into this little area here by the Coca-Cola sign. It's just like, if my guys assaulted, they'd all get annihilated in defensive fire.
They only get 3 shots each on Beehive.
Oh, right, that's true. Well, and also my T-55s would have, well, they probably would have tacticaled over here. But, so a political victory is how this game ends. Any thoughts on your list? Obviously, these guys look a lot cooler than perhaps what they did. I mean, they're what, 4 points?
Yeah, they're cheap. I thought it was going to do okay, but when you can't hit anything. So.
And to be fair, that first turn where I mean, if those 2 Centurions from turn 1 had still been alive the whole time, it would have been a different story, I think. I mean, because even if this one guy survived, you could probably just start putting rounds into my ZSU. My Guerillas. I think in hindsight I should have maybe left my Guerillas on the board so that if they died I get to pull them back. And then my mech would have been my reserves. But then they would have had to come here, so I don't know. We'll see. So, what do you think? I mean, is Team Yankee with the improved rules? You've got Centurion. I mean, and we're fighting.
Yeah, you can't move. You can't zoom your tanks around. You can like in Team Yankee, unfortunately.
Yeah, because they don't have laser rangefinders all around. Which, but my tanks are hampered by the slow firing.
And Centurions are slow.
And their side armor is really bad. Like side armor 6 is bad.
Yeah, but they're 1970s Centurions.
Well, my T-55s are late 50s, and they're not improved at all. So I don't know. Well, thanks for the game, man. We'll have to do this again. Will you run your Canadians again, or are you gonna get something like Australians, as real Australians? You're not gonna repaint these, are you?
Never.
Never. All right. So always Canadian Centurions. To be fair, you didn't have that many models, and it was 100 points, so you really don't have to do anything for non, right? You're set to go. So there's that.
I'd like to do real Australians one day, once the painting queue gets down to nothing.
Yeah. So that means all those Napoleonics got to be done, though, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks.